Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another semifinal match, Game 2 in the Zelda 2 Randomizer tournament, Nirm versus Jam Evil. Nirm is up 1-0. This is Game 2 in a best of 3. Runners are ready, and we'll be starting momentarily. I am joined by Jay Coper. Mr. Jay Coper, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today, sir?
I am doing great. What are you looking forward to in this Game 2 matchup between Jam and Nirm?
Well, I'm certainly not looking forward to any crazy new experimental sprites. Both of these guys have, you feel like this is kind of the dark horse side of the bracket here. You got the two finalists from last year on the other side, but these guys have worked their way up here and gone through some tough competition to get this far. So whoever is making it to the final certainly deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking forward to a good race.
Both players were 3-1 in the Swiss stage. We'll set the stage here. Nirm beat Vonky, King Doll, and Jam Evil in the Swiss round. He only lost to Kulain by 21 seconds in round number 4. Jam was also 3-1, like I said. He beat Angry Larry, the Sarge, Rose City Saint, and V-Rez. Looks like they're getting ready here. I had a little bit of an audio problem in my ear. Did my rendition of the recap of the Swiss round go through?
Yeah, I heard everything, sir. Yep.
Okay, great. So in the bracket finals, Nirm beat Scorpion Max and then avenged himself in Kulain to get into this. And Jam Evil beat Rose City Saint and Jackamus in a very close match there as well. And we're off here, Jay Coper. What is the first thing you would like to look for when you start a Zelda 2 randomizer seed?
Well, the first things you want to look for are any nearby towns for some quick spells or caves to get some items. Personally, I don't mind looking for any of the extra overworld spots to try to nab a quick P-bag or something and get a quick level to help survive some of the dark caves, because we've got dark caves here and mixed large and small enemies, so they can get quite challenging.
We do have an easily accessible raft spot, and I did see one of those swamp tiles and forest tile there. And yes, I love a quick P-bag as well. We saw an entrance to Death Mountain, and we don't know if that's going to come into play. It comes into play quite often with needing to navigate it in the dark to find the required item to progress. We also saw the town of Mito, where we'll get a spell if we find the medicine, and downstab as well.
Yeah. Maybe if you're one of the runners, you hope that Death Mountain doesn't come into play. If you're one of the viewers, maybe the sadistic kind, you want to see them suffer a little. But we'll see. Usually the later in the tournament that we go with the flags that are being offered, the more likely the seed is to be a bit more trolly. So it'll be quite interesting to see how this plays out.
So far, we're seeing really nothing here in this first area. We see Nirm going into the first half of Jump Cave that Jam found. We can't get through that unless we do have the jump spell. I saw a boulder blocking a cave as well.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen... Well, we did see... it looked like... it looked like the Parappa Cave has been sighted, so maybe that's a way to the south side of the continent here.
Yeah, hopefully it's not through Death Mountain for these runners in the dark, but Parappa does look like it's the option right now.
And there's still a little left in the southwest part of the northern section of this continent to explore, perhaps. But not a ton.
And these runners are avoiding all... Well, Jam's going to go through it right now. It's a nice red Dyra blocking your path right there.
Yeah, very expertly handled by Jam there. Only 100 experience is a little disappointing, but it's, you can do much worse.
but both players are ignoring any sign of extra pee bags or perhaps bad goo. It doesn't matter. We found the right side of Saria here, and it's just north of the grass tile when you wake up outside of Parappa. Do you have any do you prefer a certain spell over the other when you start this?
I think that like fairy is the most obviously useful. To me, I'm just as happy getting jump first, just so that I can get down stab as soon as possible. Either way, fairy sometimes you have to worry about making it castable. We've got fire here. Is there linked fire in this flag set?
No, Link Fire went away 2 rounds ago.
Yeah, that's too bad for them. Fire is essentially a worthless spell, except in very limited circumstances. So that's kind of their last choice for something to see there. Ooh, go for it.
Yeah, we got a nice little one up there simultaneously by our runners. With the introduction in a couple of versions ago, with version 3.0 of P-Bag caves, one on the west and 2 on the east being an item cave or potential item cave, we get some of these smaller items mixed in from time to time, and that's probably one of the worst ones you find, especially if you abuse up A.
Yeah. I do like making use of the 1-ups to try to extend my exploration a little bit, but yeah, it's definitely pretty useful. More useful than a red jar, but
yeah, no one wants that red jar. Yeah, no one wants that red jar, especially in Palace 6 if you go diving. But we do find the boots in Heart Container Cave, and we also saw Great Palace on the Western Continent as well.
Yeah, the boots sometimes required. It may be required in about 25% of seeds. It's hard to say. But one of the most helpful items for exploration by far, because you can walk on the water and skip a ton of overworld encounters. Plus, of course, once they get to the east, they'll be able to get the water tile item when they make it there.
Yeah, and you don't want to worry about it. I've played plenty of seeds where either the 6th palace that I had to place a gem in or Great Palace was boot blocked, and I already consider myself in quote go mode, and just stop getting items, and then all of a sudden an hour and a half into the race, I have to go back for the boots. So it's nice and comforting feeling to have it like right away.
Yeah, that's why one of the ingredients in go mode, or what is often called in this randomizer full dig shake, is making sure you have access to all the palaces. That tells you if you need boots or the flute or the hammer, I guess, in some weird circumstance.
Yeah, we are in Parappa here for, Raru here for Jam, so we're going to get a spell, and we're in Medicine Cave for Nirm. And I don't know, I believe one time I saw you say something about Medicine Cave. You don't like going in this one low level either, do you?
No, I don't like going in with less than attack 2, because there's often a lot of those birds in here, and they will pretty much never die at attack 1, but they almost always die at attack 2, so yeah. Did we see the item there? Well, whatever, he's gonna get right back there, and hopefully he gets it this time.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I did see Jam. It's the raft, and I did see Jam get Reflect in Raru. So there's one of our required spells or items found right away, and no additional puzzle for it.
The 2 absolutely required spells are, of course, Reflect and Thunder for Thunderbird, because the Thunderbird is required with this flag set. Fairy can be required quite frequently, and Spell can very rarely be required just to get the item at the end of Spell Town.
And then very rare, even more rare, you'll get a combination of all those things needed to arrive at the destination item or spell. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
All right, so reflect time here for Nirm. And Jam's going to jump out of here with the raft.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of trading places and just doing what the other one had just done over and over again. So, kind of a funny little idiosyncrasies of their exploration here, but otherwise they pretty much followed the same path so far, and maybe we'll see some divergence pretty soon. I don't think Nirm got the boots yet, though, did he?
No, that's the only thing they've done differently. He has not gotten the boots, but Jam finds Palace, 3 or 6 right there. We won't know which one it is until we go at least one room deep.
I believe the boots were way in the southwest, so Nirm is not heading in that direction. But maybe he'll be going that way soon.
Found the other side of Death Mountain here, and Jam's going to give it a look. Are you one of those players that looks in every cave just in case the Hammer Cave is like right there?
You know, I do it a kind of just on a whim or a feel. You know, if there's a cave or two close, and it can be situational too. Like if I feel like I'm gonna up an A after exploring, maybe I'll just go through every cave I can see and then up an A when I get to the end of them. Or maybe I'll go through 1 or 2, maybe I won't go through any, and it's really hard to say when it's a good idea or not until, especially if you have the raft. If I have the raft, that makes Death Mountain a lot less appealing.
We do see Spectacle Rock there behind some mountain. Looks like we're going to have to take a cave there. But Jam does have the boots. So exploration here is a little bit easier for him to check more caves than Nirm could. So Nirm backs out and finds Palace 1.
Yeah, I still question Jam's decision to go through this much of Death Mountain right now. It's quite time consuming, and he could just go to the east if he wanted to look for a ferry or the magic key before going into any palaces. Oh, man. That encounter drives me nuts when you walk in there and the enemy spawns right on top of you.
Yeah, the instant damage encounter. So Nirm is going to do Palace 1 without fairy or magic key. Well, look what we found on Jam's side. We did find the Hammer Cave, so let's see if it pays off for him.
Yeah, I don't know how many lives he has left. Still got 2 to work with, I guess, so he'll probably make it through.
Just how kind was the game to roll the large and small enemies in some of these rooms for him. One thing you have to worry about... I'm sorry about that.
Oh, I just saying, this hallway in particular right here, you get a few divers in it, and it could be quite challenging. It looks like there is at least 2 of them there, too, so this could be bad news for Jam. We'll see. He's still got a ways to go to make it to the item.
Yeah, the orange diver was the lead blocker, and then the red diver was behind it, doing a little bit of range damage, and now we got a Gorilla to follow that up, so that didn't look fun at all. But one of the logical elements of this game is that nothing will be required in the palace. It won't, unless you had the magic key or fairy, or the ability to get magic key or fairy. Nirm has neither, but he's going to take a chance he doesn't get blocked here. There's only, forgetting the item and the boss room, there's only 2 locked doors in this palace, but Nirm has seen enough and he's leaving.
Yeah, I think that, the combination of not having an answer for locked doors, plus the, those blue iron knuckles, providing something of a roadblock in themselves was enough for him to say goodbye. And now we have a solution for those locked doors. So
after that game over, Jam got into this cave pretty quickly. I didn't see where it was, but both of these runners did not get it the first time around. And magic key, it's an amazing find for it.
Oh, it was boots blocked.
It was boots block indeed. Look at that.
That's quite something. That's interesting. So the not having the boots is hurting Nirm even more until he gets down there and gets them. Is he in that cave now? He might be in there now. Yep. Okay.
No, he's in the boot cave now. So Jam goes to the east. He wakes up and finds Darunia. And another town. Not getting those potential 500-point P bags, although that swamp encounter might require you to have the jump spell to get it.
Yeah, the swamp encounters in the east I find are pretty undesirable. It seems like there's a pretty good chance that it's going to be the one that, you're going to need jump for it to be useful. And either way, even if you have jump, you're going to have something raining boulders on your head. So.
All right, spell time in Nuboru, and it is thunder, so we're not going to have to find any of these fairy, barring the need to get fairy so far. We're not going to have to find a...
Wow.
Yeah, find a spell item to get the required spells.
So we are, like a glove away from a potential go mode. A glove, in theory, could not be required, but we all know that it's required in 90+% of all seeds, so everyone treats it as a necessary item.
Yeah, barring some unfortunate, some rare situation where the flute is actually blocking progress, or you actually do need fairy to complete a palace. It just might be a glove away here from just go all out.
Once you get to a scenario like that, though, it's worth pointing out that both of them only have 4 magic bars and 4 life bars, and it can be quite challenging to make it through the late game with that much in terms of resources, especially if you don't get a lot of levels to go with it. So, only 5 magic containers required for the lady there. That's a good sign.
Yeah, that's certainly nice, because if she has the glove, it's very easy to get. There's Nirm to get the magic key. I'm one of those ones that always, certainly both these players could do this with 4 and 4, depending on how much they can get Thunder reduced to, the life for sure. But there's also, would you want to? And that always, I guess, is the key decider of whether you look for other items or not. What spell was that for, Jam?
Yeah, I'm guessing it was shield.
Okay, what shield?
Marked in the tracker.
I see that. Thank you.
The tracker is helpfully flashing it for us. Shield can be a very useful spell for some of the late game stuff, especially if you've only got 4 heart containers to deal with. That can make Guma and Thunderbird much easier to survive.
All right, so since we're on the east here, I feel like, we're going to go look for spells. This is our first look here at Kasuto on Nirm's side. Maze Island, though, if you're looking for items at this point, Maze Island's probably the place to be with 2 free items for you.
Oh, we got the fairy spell for Nirm in Old Kasuto, which is going to allow him to get downstab as soon as he decides to go back to the Western continent. I'd be doing that pretty quick if I were him.
Yeah, he can also clear 1 and get some levels as well.
Yeah.
Or at least 1 at the gem.
Both of them now at 333 thanks to some P-Bag pickups.
Now it's going to be Nirm's, Jam's turn to pick up the fairy spell. While Nirm goes and gets Thunder.
Man, if I'm near him, I'd probably take a few extra steps and talk to that life lady.
Yeah, I mean, unless his plan is to up A and go back to the west. Or maybe he'll just get it on the way out.
Yeah. It's always fun if we can see the left side of Firetown there. It's so often ignored, those townless people. Like your grandma in a nursing home or something. Never any visitors.
Yeah. We should, that's what a hint should be if we ever get a new version of the randomizer that gives you friendly hints. Put them there. We saw a Great Palace over on the west. That means that the palace that we're looking for on Jam's side right now through Valley of Death is going to be a numbered palace. And it is Palace 5.
Is he going into Palace 5? That's an interesting choice. With 333 and no down stab to help with the common enemies.
He lost the last race between Nirm. He's down 1-0, and in that race, Nirm did Barba attack too. So I wonder if Jam's a little hesitant to leave things on the table because knowing that Nirm might just go do it himself and be ahead. Still arguably questionable with all the other things he could be doing with his exploration of this continent.
Yeah, something that stands out to me in this decision is that it is at the end of Valley of Death, so you had to go through those forced encounters to get here. But still, Valley of Death is extremely easy to get to in this seed, and it wasn't that long. There was maybe 2 encounters there, I think.
This attack 3. That didn't look like too much fun, fighting that blue Iron Knuckle with the attack 3.
Yeah. I wonder if Jam's going to maybe take a look left and see if there will be an item there. Finding the glove would give him a huge leg up.
Yeah, it's one of the things to touch upon. Any item could be anywhere as long as it's not blocked by said item. There's no glove block in 5, so the glove could be in 5, and often that is one of the original memes of Zelda 2 Randomizer is glove is always in 5. But even though it's a joke, Jake Hoper, it happens quite frequently sometimes, it seems.
Yeah, I don't think it happens quite as often since the P-Bag Cave introduction, but it's still a possibility you gotta be aware of, keep in mind.
It's like memory bias.
Memory
bias.
I think Jam's trying to see what these droppers are going to drop, but they're not spawning their things for some reason. It was interesting. The dripper spawn that normally spawns bots are random for those of you who haven't seen it. So you can get even a Mago or an Iron Knuckle coming out of there when those blue drops hit the ground. And the plus side of that is that whatever it spawns will have the same HP as a bot. So you can get 500 point Magos that you can kill in one hit and get a ton of experience quickly.
Yeah, that is a strategy Nirm likes to implement when he finds Palace 2. He will not hesitate to dive into Palace 2, find the Dripper, and see where he stands, especially early on. Minimal effort can get you that attack 4 with the right enemies. Jam finds a dead end, the P-Bag on the shelf and up A's.
Yeah, I think that I was totally expecting that up and A there. That was quite a walk that he took to get to that dead end. So.
And then he's gonna up A outside and go back to start.
Yeah, we've got Fairy Town right next to start. Really easy to get down stab.
I do not know what the spells cost, but I do see in chat that Nirm cannot cast Fairy at Magic 2. And he takes Magic 3 now with the help of that P-Bag in the forest tile. So it looks to be around 32 MP at Magic 3.
Oh. It's a tricky encounter to negotiate for Nirm there.
Alright, Jam has arrived at downstab. Nirm finds the hidden Kasudo pass-through. There are 4 sets of caves that are pass-throughs on the eastern continent. 2 caves that are P-Bag caves that can contain an item. We haven't found either of those yet.
Yeah, the P-Bag caves are pretty easy to recognize because you'll see either stairs up or stairs down right when you enter.
Yeah, and always left to right as well.
Right, left to right. The all the pass-through caves when you're going left to right will have a flat floor at the entrance.
Palace 4, right by Maze Island. And Nirm's going to go into Palace 4 first. He's got the Reflect spell and the Magic Key. And then he'll probably finish this and go to Maze Island, look for those 2 items, see if it's the glove, and continue on. Is this the order you would have done it in?
I would hesitate to do these things without downstab myself, but Palace 4 is certainly an easier one to do without downstab, just based on the enemies you're going to see there and the fact that downstab means nothing against Karak, so.
So Nirm finds the item room straight away in 4. It's a 200-point P bag, not what he was looking for. Now he's going to go up A, go back in, save a little time, and look for Karak.
Yeah. It's nice finding that item right away, but now we've got all of this palace left to explore just to find Karak, and he's probably going to be in the last dead end because that's usually what happens. I know AA has told me that if he sees this drop and he's in go mode or just looking for the boss of P4, he will just take the drop all the way to the bottom. I think dropping to the 2nd level, I don't know if Nirm actually dropped on purpose or if he missed the jump. It was hard to tell because he was really close. But I think taking the drop to the 2nd level, just taking a quick look there to see what's there, and then falling all the way down is a pretty good move overall.
Yeah, I was looking to see what was going to be in the room to the right, and I missed Jam getting the item in Maze Island, if you saw that.
Oh, I did not.
Okay, so if chat can help us out there, fill in the blanks of what Jam just picked up on Maze Island. He's going to look for the 2nd of the item areas. It was a magic container. Thank you very much. So Jam now has 5. He can get the item New Kasuto. And we found Karak over here on Nirm's side. So he's going to be placing a gem soon, the first one of the match.
Karak, of course, doesn't care. Oh, that's really surprising that Nirm would skip that level to me. I don't know. I mean, I guess it guarantees him attack 4, but he's placing the gem for 130 where he could have placed it for 700 or 160, I guess.
Now here is item number 2 for Jam. And it's the hammer.
I don't think we saw any hammer-blocked caves in the west other than the Spectacle Rock and Death Mountain.
There's one hammer block cave right by start.
Okay.
And of which we have not seen Magic Container Cave or the Trophy Cave. So there's another cave out there as well on the west. And remember, Jam took a game over inside of Hammer Cave. We don't know what was in there, but we do know with the boots you can readily find it from the 2nd entrance they found of Death Mountain.
Yeah, that is definitely some good knowledge advantage that Jam has on Nirm right now. If that item is required, then Jam will be able to find it pretty quickly, you would think.
All right, Maze Island contains Palace 3. Jam sees a glove block room and decides that it's no longer worth his time since he can't get through and he's going away.
Jam flying over the top, I guess.
A 1-up was the only thing he'd be able to pick up there.
Yeah. That would work, but so often it's just a P-bag and you're flying over just to say, hey, look at that thing I could have had.
So we have shuffled encounters turned on for these set of flags, and the forest tile in the north of Eastern Hyrule is the lava tile.
Yeah, that's that's pretty rough if you encounter a large area of forest. Forest encounters spawn much closer than, say, desert or grass encounters, so they're pretty difficult to avoid, and we could end up seeing a lot of those Valley of Death encounters in this seed.
He does find our first P-Bag cave on the eastern continent, though. Can't get by the Tektite, and he'll try it again. Nearm finally able to cast Fairy when he's on the western continent. He's going to pick up Downstab.
And we get the kid. At this point, the most likely way the kid would be required is if he's blocking Spell, which is blocking the glove. But
yeah, certainly not
unlikely to be necessary.
Not the most outlandish of situations, but again, probably unlikely. And that's really the only way we'll have a panic to get more items for spells as well, is if it's determined that the spell house at the end of New Kasuto has, the glove.
Oh, we got the magic container cave now by Nearm with Heart in it.
Heart container also in the desert tile for Jam.
In the water tile. Both of them right next to each other in top left of the eastern continent. Get the cross there. So Jam's found 3 items in quick succession. None of them exactly what he was looking for, but little things that can help.
Information, basically, at this point. Nice to take half an hour into the seed. Information is fine. If you're like at hour 30, hour 40, and still have to narrow things down, it's a little bit more of a bad time. See that road that has the River Devil down there, and we also see the other palace that's on the eastern continent there. That's going to either be 2 or 3 or 6. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's either going to be 2 or 6. 4, 6. I'm sorry. Let me say that again. It's going to be 2, because 6 was going to be the one that was on the western continent.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to get my notes straight there. We saw 3 or 6 early, but then we saw 3 on Maze Island.
And another magic container. Something to note now is that Jam has 6 magic containers. The lady in New Kasuto only wanted 5, so he can go back there and grab an item whenever he's in the area. And I think Nearm has at least 5 too, right? Yeah. So they both can get that item, and that could be the glove, which is the main thing that they're looking for right now.
And here is 2 for Jam now.
Yeah, I would not hesitate to go into 2, that's for sure. It's not too hard to get the item, and I don't want to say that. I guess if it's easy to get to, back to New Kasuto, maybe you want to do that. I'm just thinking about, I'm saying that, and I'm thinking about one of the last seeds I played, where I spent a long time in 2 just to discover that the boss was glove blocked. That could happen. But the glove could very easily be in 2. It's vanilla location, so it's a tough call sometimes.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna entertain the idea of doing 4, where he won't get blocked and will be able to get to both the item and the boss and make some progress here. But I agree with you. I think that I think I would jump into 2. One room that's gonna glove block you, and if it blocks you from both from the boss and the item, probably either happen very early, but I guess it could. You can run into all the dead ends and only have one path that's glove blocked, and both the boss and the item is behind it. I don't know. I think I might do 2. Jamie's not even going to do 4 here.
Yeah. Well, if the item in 2 is glove blocked, it's kind of irrelevant because just really looking for the glove. So I think Jam is really just trying to get this level at this point, get to attack 4. Or, that's not even attack 4 that he's close to. He's close to magic 4.
Well, Nirm found 2, so we know Nirm likes 2. He's diving in. Jam could also get the level outside of 4 and just go back in and out for red jars and cast Thunder on the Moa if he's worried about losing his life, but he gets it right there. Dangerously close to attack 4. And he does opt to skip whatever he was going to get there, and now he's on his last life.
I would expect him to get that level and then maybe work his way back to Palace 4 and up an A to get those lives back. Huh. Continuing off to the west here for a little bit, so not sure where he's gonna head. Oh, did we see what came out of the drippers?
It was a Doom Rattle.
For, was that 100 experience?
It looked like it was going to be, it looked like it was 100, yeah.
Yeah, so that's not too bad. I think that's better than what you would expect on average to see.
So through that P bag and a couple of Lizalfo's kills there, Jam also takes Magic 4.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice to take Magic 4 when you know you're not dependent on Fairy for getting through key doors. In a lot of seeds or a lot of circumstances, you want to keep your magic level low so that you can level attack more easily at the gems, and then you can get a big cache of experience at a later palace and then dump a bunch of it into magic and life at the end. But once you, the breaking points for that are usually like life 4 and a magic 3. Beyond that, it can get tough to grind past the amounts for the gems to get the big experience boost. So there's always a little hesitation for me in taking Magic 4, but if I'm dependent on Fairy especially, then I'll do it a little more willingly.
We saw simultaneous item gets there. Nirm got the candle in Palace 2. Jam Evil got the flute over in New Kasuto. At this point, we've been to every palace. We've identified every palace and been inside of every palace, so the flute could only be mildly more convenient at this point. It's not going to be blocking anything.
Right.
So, reset ourselves here. We still have no glove. We have not seen the item in 1, 3, 5, or 6. Potential that it's not in 3 because could be glove block from exploration in 3 based on how Jam got out of there. And Trophy Cave, which is... Was that the one blocked by the boulder, or was that Magic Container Cave that Nirm went to?
That was Magic Container Cave that Nirm went to immediately with the hammer.
Okay, Trophy Cave, Death Mountain, both Spectacle Rock and Hammer Cave, which Jam was in earlier and took a game over. But we have a helmet head fight here on Nirm's side right now to place his second gem.
Looks like he's taking him down pretty easily.
And there he goes. Which one are you more inclined to go check now, knowing you've narrowed down some options and you need to go still get this glove?
Well, without question, 1 is the most appealing of the ones that we haven't seen. And by 1, I mean Palace 1. But a lot of that, too, depends on overworld routing. You know, you don't want to go all the way back to Palace 1 if you're in the neighborhood of something else, perhaps. And it's also appealing to keep looking for spells a little bit, see if you get the spell, and you can check New Kasuto with that.
Yeah, I believe Darunia was right by the raft tile. Nirm picks up the magic container in P-Bag Cave, and Jam got the 200-point P-Bag in Palace 4 there. I believe Darunia was right by the raft tile on the east, and you got the kid, so...
But if I'm Jam also right now, then Death Mountain is very appealing because, you know, he knows where the Hammer Cave is. He's seen the rock. That's 2 items that he feels like he has a pretty good chance to get quickly. So, 2 items is more than any one other location that we know of right now can offer by itself, I would be tempted to go there if I was him.
We see now what was on the level where Nirm dropped or didn't make the jump. It was a quick dead end, obviously, since we did see Carrick. There was a chance it could have looped around, though, to Carrick as well, I guess.
Yeah. Jam must have found the P bag, right?
Yes, he
immediately to the right.
Yeah, at the same time, Nirm got the magic jar out of P-Bag Cave. So Nirm's exploring this area from a different path than Jam did. He's in the water tile. Here he's going to get rewarded with the cross.
Yeah, he kind of came from the complete opposite direction somehow. Sometimes that happens. I remember losing my race to error because of a situation like that.
And we're in 6 here for Jam. I'm sorry, we're in 4 still.
Oh.
I looked up from my notepad and I saw that elevator room with the lava on both sides, and I'm like, all right, we're in 6.
Yeah. It is a funny room to include in both palaces. Seems a little out of place in 4.
And one of the little-known facts is, well, not in that room, but a little-known fact in Randomizer is there are some places where you only see Moas, as Jam defeats Carrick, and he'll place his first gem of the night. Certain places you only see Moas, and you're like, well, why are there only Moas here? They don't get randomized. Why is that? Well, that's because of their spawn placement, and if they randomize to anything else, like a bubble, they'd be stuck in the wall. So those always tend to be Moas in those rooms you always see them.
Wait, so we sometimes have issues with enemies being stuck in the wall?
Unless you're talking about the official mascot of Zelda 2 Randomizer, the Wall Stalfos, the Wall Skelly. I believe it's unacceptable for any other enemy to be stuck in a wall.
I see.
And there's the kid for Nirm.
Alright, Jam's going back and checking these rocks. Certainly a good idea.
I wonder what happened with Trophy Cave. I wonder if there was a second cave, at least I didn't notice, somewhere else on Western Hyrule that could have been blocked by a boulder as well. So you see here something I mentioned earlier. Nirm up-A'd, and he went right back to the raft tile, went right over to the Eastern Continent, went right into Darunia. He's going to grab Upstab here, and he's going to go cash in the kid to see what it is. Limiting his options, I guess. We know that potentially the Spell House spell might be required, so maybe he just wants to take this one off the board.
Yeah, I think Jam is... I think Jam is under the same confusion that we are regarding the caves that are left, and he's still looking for that last one.
Well, we had one cave that was blocked by the boots. I wonder if there's a second little nook somewhere as well. We haven't seen the back end of Jump Cave. So I wonder if there's a little, and speaking of Jump, there's Jump in Darunia. I wonder if there's a little inlet somewhere. What do you guys call that? A little camping spot? That contains only the back end of Jump Cave and Trophy Cave.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen something like that created by the overworld. Look in the left of this area right here. Is that part blocked off? No, it's not. Never mind.
Yeah, I think that was the lower southwest section you referenced really early in the seed that they didn't explore.
Right.
Well, nothing there so far. Let's see if we go extreme southwest. And no, nothing there but the swamp tile. So Nirm is back in New Kasuto. First time he's going to be here with 5 magic containers. So he'll pick up the flute. And then, he'll grab... he already has shields, so this is all he can do here. And Jam's back in Death Mountain. Maybe it was a little of not looking for a Trophy Cave, but trying to find that entrance to Death Mountain again that he found before. For Jam, I mean.
Yeah. You know, when you use spell at the end of Spell Town there, it makes that little jingle when it opens up the thing. You think you should be able to take the flute and just play that jingle and open up the cave, right?
I would think so. I mean, that'd be awesome if you could.
Yeah.
Little Ocarina of Time style. You have to input the notes on the keypad.
Make the flute relevant again. This is interesting here to see the candle that Nirm found in 2 coming into play.
Yeah, and Jam found a way to the area he's familiar with, and he'll be in Hammer Cave within moments here. He avoids that encounter where you take guaranteed damage.
And then there's that other oddity there where it's always... everything is the same thing. You get 6 different of the orange moblins on the same encounter.
Jam walked into Hammer Cave, left, and then went into another cave. I'm not exactly sure what he was looking for, but we have both players simultaneously hammer caving it up right now.
I know when I first started doing caves in the dark, or I mean, even not that long ago, I walk into Hammer Cave and I don't even realize it. Like I think it's one of those short caves with the enemies stuck in the holes in the ground.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah. But amazing that even though Jam had the knowledge of Death Mountain, they both basically found Hammer Cave at the same time.
It's worth noting that Jam might have looked south just to see if there was an open area to access the rock first.
Okay.
Before going to Hammer Cave, and then he went into the cave to reset his encounters.
Fair enough.
I'll just assume that because Jam's better than me, and I don't want to. Oh, look what we found.
Oh, hey. Wow, that would have been huge for Jam to get immediately. That's for sure.
Yeah, certainly he wouldn't have gone out of 6 right away, and he would have been progressing, and Nirm would have still been looking. Although Nirm would have arrived at it at this time, all things considered. But both players now have the glove, and both got him at the same time.
Yeah, and now there's really not much of an advantage at all that Jam has over Nirm.
No, and in fact, I don't even think he has really much of an exploration advantage, being that he hasn't done 2, and he left 3 a little too quickly and hasn't been in any palace but 5. So maybe he's seen a little bit of 5 since he updated at the dead end, and he knows where not to go, but...
Yeah, but, I mean, for all we know, that Guma is one room behind that fake wall that he couldn't get through because of the blue iron knuckle.
Yeah, absolutely true. We found 1 again here, and both players are going to opt to do this first. Why not? So on the west, we had 1 and 6 and Great Palace, and on the east, we had 2 and 4. 3 was on Maze Island, and 5 was in Valley of Death, to recap where the palaces were.
This isn't 1, though. This is 6, right?
Oh, yes, you're right. This is 6. My bad.
I thought this was where 1 was 2, but it's definitely not 1.
No, definitely not 1. We don't randomize rooms yet.
That will be a quality addition to the randomizer when that happens someday. Also looking forward to rooms being mirrored, and so we can get rid of all of the always go right.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely in favor of always go right. I like seeds like we had last night where I can do stupid things and be rewarded.
Like just take one elevator down in Jack Miss room and have a 5-room Great Palace.
Yeah, see 2 ends of fun room and just decide you don't want to do either of the fun rooms, even if they're not the same, and go the other way. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to drop here a little bit. We got a little ceiling walk. He won't get disqualified. I'll make sure of that. And Barba, right after the drop into the ferry room area that you normally need ferry to fly through the corridor.
Well, Jam certainly had a faster 6 than Nirm here. And he does an impressive... Wow, God, man.
That was a pretty good Drac Hammer for Attack 4, and Attack 4 doesn't even seem like it's that good.
That was kind of amazing, I think.
Yeah, it looks like Barba's low health because Nier missed a lot of jackhammers and still got Barb at a half health on the indicator. And will very shortly be right behind Jam. All right, there's 6 for Jam. He's going to make his way over potentially for 1. You know, I don't know if Jam even seen 1. And I'm bringing this up now because he's kind of shuffling back and forth. And I remember I was going to say at one point in time when he went to the east that he never seen 1 because it was a little bit after Nirm got out of 1. I don't think he knows where it is.
Even if he has, I often forget, especially on the Western continent where I've seen palaces, because it's like, that was, an hour ago when I saw that thing, so now I've got to return to it.
And it's on his screen now, so no big deal there.
They usually all feel so easy to get to. You're just randomly walking around the continent and you see it. It's not like in the east where it's such an ordeal to reach anything. But he does get to 1 before Nirm, so...
Nirm has a little bit of knowledge here, but I don't know if the knowledge is just one linear path and, he needed a key. Although there were 2 directions to take at start. And an elevator that allowed you to go in multiple directions as well.
I think this might be a dead end here, is my guess. That Jam's taking, but I don't know.
Well, Nirm's going that way as well. And
yeah. My guess on that was the fact that Nirm was trying to go the other way before, but Nirm might have just been hunting the item more. And yep,
and the
okay.
Path goes right to Horsehead.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very straightforward. It is Palace 1, of course, so not that crazy for it to lead right to the boss, but still very nice when you're playing. And this seed is tying up pretty quickly here.
Yeah, 2 quick gem placements for Jam, but unfortunately for him, Nirm placed them just as quick and still has that gem lead coming out of 1. 4-3 at this point.
So we've got to do 3, which was on Maze Island, right? And then 5, which was...
Valley of Death.
Ah, yes.
Which Nirm knows by process of elimination. He hasn't been in there. Jam was in there for a little while and arrived at the game over to the Rebo Neck and the Up A at the dead end porch room. So Nirm Up A's to get back to North Castle to get to the raft tile quicker. Jam's still walking around here.
It doesn't look like Nirm is heading towards Valley of Death. If I were him, I would do that first. Because Maze Island is a significant walk to the other side of the continent.
And either he didn't remember that Great Palace was in the west, or he confused it with another palace, or never walked in there before.
Yeah.
But Jam walked to the other palace, and it was Great Palace and the Up A's. Yeah, that might be preferred. Walking to VOD. I'm not good with routing in most games. I lose a few minutes here and there because of it. But it's right in front of the raft tile. You can do VOD and then walk to Maze Island. But if you do Maze Island first, then Up A, you got to walk to the raft tile again on the Western continent. It might be more optimal to do it even with the encounters, but it's a very short walk and you have ferry.
Yeah. It looked like there's only 1 forced encounter in Valley of Death, so... there's always this temptation, I think, to up an A out of the Valley of Death if you can, so that you don't have to go backwards through those forced encounters. But if it's right there and it's so short.
All right, and with the quicker up and A back to start outside of 1, Nirm is in 3. Jam elects to go into 5 in the eco key room here, and he's going to get through it with the use of fairy. And find a dead end.
And he's not recognizing it yet. Okay, now he recognizes.
Now we see the room that Jam up-8 in here on Nirm's screen when he was in 3, the glove required room. So that's 2 total dead ends Jam has found in 5. Do you have any particular strategies in 5?
I mean, if you're just looking for Guma, you know, you just follow the always go right. Jackamus has said before that something he tries to do in Palace 5 is always go up at the elevators. I don't know for sure that that's better. I could see an argument for that being better. But yeah, you know, just try to always go right, and then I kind of like follow the wall in a way, follow the whole wall, ceiling, and just make sure I'm always checking every possible way as I'm going.
Hey, there's nothing worse than going for a little while, walking for a little while, then reaching a place you can go in 2 different directions, taking the wrong one, and then walking forever to another dead end.
If you're doing P5 and you're still looking for items, then there's a lot of different ways you could go about it. But
all right, Jam finds another dead end. He's in a room here with a magic jar. He does not need it. And actually, I don't even know if that's the magic jar room with the large and small. It still looked like it was 4 normal enemies.
oh no, must have tapped down for just a frame there and put himself in the drink.
Yeah, this is my least favorite room anywhere. Rebonek time, though, on Nirm's side.
Oh, Nirm does not seem to have the life spell, I guess?
No, neither player does. It's either blocked by the medicine or the trophy.
Yeah.
And the spell is the other one.
I don't think shield is going to do a whole lot when you've got, like, a tenth of a life bar left. I guess it doesn't hurt to give it a shot, but...
Yeah, he loses that jackhammer against the wall. And takes a lot of damage trying to set it back up.
Oh, it's something to note that it's probably not going to come into play anyway, but Nirm went and cashed in the kid for the jump spell, right? And Jam never did that. So
right.
he didn't get down stab ever, or up stabbed ever, I mean. There's a very small chance that the Great Palace could be blocked by up stab. A little more likely in a full Great Palace, but even if that were in play here, you know, Nirm already seems to have a lead. That's just adding to his lead a little more if that possibility were to occur.
Certainly we've seen it before. We see Jam at Guma now.
Yeah. So
and
this Palace 5 layout didn't seem terribly friendly, so at least Jam seems to have worked his way through what was the most challenging palace so far, but still has to do 2 palaces to Nirm's 1.
And there's the gem in Palace 5 for 4 total for Jam. Still needs to do 2 and 3. 3 on Maze Island, 2 on Eastern Hyrule, where he is now. While Nirm is in his last palace, Palace 5. See if this is one of the situations where Nirm is going to do everything Jam did because of that always go right mentality.
Yeah. Ooh, Jam is coming in here to pick up upstab and maybe check the spell as well. I don't know if he should be checking the spell. I guess that, that's up to him, but there's nothing that could be required at this point.
No, a life spell would be nice. You're like
Yeah.
1 in 3 chance of getting something that's useful. The fact that you have to walk pretty much a screen and a half out anyway, maybe it leads me to believe that I'm going to get the magics no matter what. But again, it's no matter what it is a little bit of a time waster.
Yeah, it's interesting though. I think in this situation, I wouldn't even have gone into this town, because I've got enough spells to work with, and I just call it good. But that being said, with both of them having the jump spell in a great palace with a mix large and small, I have a pretty good feeling that they'll both cast it at least once. Usually happens in those waffle rooms.
I did sneeze about 5 times, and I missed exactly what the spell was. Which one was it? Oh, it was jump. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
And Nirm's crawling along here. He's in that room where I debated if this was going to be the one with the red jar before. I believe after we seen this, it was the room where Jam, downstabbed right into the lava, and then right where we got the elevator that went up.
It would have been nice if Nirm would have just downstabbed into the lava just so that they could, kind of share the pain with each other after.
Oh, yeah.
But
Somebody would have brought that up.
Yeah.
This is a best of 3 between Nirm and Jam, the semifinals of the Zelda 2 Randomizer tournament. Nirm is up 1-0. Winner moves on to the finals. They will play either Unos or Dig Shake. That series is tied up 1 apiece going into the rubber match, which is currently unscheduled. Make sure you check out the website for Zelda 2 Randomizer, challenge.com, challenge with an O.com/Z2Rando 2017.
Yeah, I thought that maybe they were going to be racing tonight too, but doesn't appear to be happening.
I'm very much in favor of double headers now.
Yeah. I don't think anyone would discourage you from having a bronze medal match.
Make it an exhibition. Yeah, 0 gems. That sounds nice. Put all the randomization of this to the test during that match. All right, Nirm has arrived. And Jam's in 3 again.
What do you want to predict for Nirm's final levels here?
He's going to get over this 740. Is that going to give him the attack 8?
Yeah, definitely.
Number? Probably 7. He'll probably go 7.
I'll say 757.
Yeah, 757. I was going to say 756. Yeah, about that. I was kind of debating whether he was going to go that high in magic, though. Whatever it is, 4 or 5, it'll be the remainder of what he spends after he takes life 7. Item in 3 here. For Jam, he's going to walk and get it. And it's the trophy.
Oh, not quite enough for the 5. So 747 looks like.
Yeah, the Boeing strats, I believe they used to call that once upon a time. And now he's going to be on his way to southern western Hyrule and Great Palace. Actually, is this section? Did they start in northern Hyrule, or did they start in southern Hyrule on the west side?
They started in the north.
Okay.
Yeah, there was very little up in the north where they started.
All right, Jam's at Reba Neck here. As Nirm enters Great Palace at 102.58. So in Zelda 2 Randomizer, especially these flags, the Great Palace is shortened 25 to 50% of the rooms. Only rooms with 2 exits, and 2 exits only, are removed from the equation. Those do not include rooms that contain a drop or the rooms you typically land in from the drops. And there is one of them right now.
I wonder if Digashake could have it so that... Oh, oof. Nier made some mistakes in breaking blocks there. Had the Bird Knight land on his head. But I was just going to say, I wonder if Digashake could have it so that some of the drop rooms would take you to the same destination.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. All right, Jam's in 2 here. Let's see what happens. We find an elevator room. Go up. Goes left to a fun room. Actually, it goes up into a fun room. There's a left exit there. He's going to try this left exit, though. And it's the little digger. He'll grab it for some safety. It's right there. And Nirm's going to go through the fun room. And you can see right there how the room's fun. It can kill you or try to kill you in multiple different ways. Make our way through the waffle room here. Do you hate the waffle rooms on mixed small and large enemies as much as I do?
I kind of do, but at the same time, they're one of the more interesting challenges that this game presents. You know, so it's kind of fun to see how to manage your resources and handle them.
Yeah, whether you decide to cast thunder and then have to worry about magic later, whatever life. We're gonna go up here.
Yeah.
We're gonna go into what we call the Jackamus room. We can go left or right, and then we go right into the elevator room. So we have a few different options here as far as pathing goes.
Jam still is. I think he's not as experienced with this randomizer as a lot of other people, and his recognition of some of the dead ends takes a little longer than it would for a lot of people. Also, I was going to note that he just broke through some blocks, so maybe having the glove in P2 is actually costing him time because he's exploring a dead end that Nirm couldn't have explored. I doubt that Nirm even saw that dead end, but regardless, the lead for Nirm is only growing with Jam's trip through Palace 2 here.
He finds the lower half of the L7 room. He's going to go into this room that has the T blocks with the red jars behind him, and then he's going to wind up in this room that has a jar and the statue as well, with an elevator down. He left a couple paths behind. He found a room with 1 chicken in it. It doesn't matter because we're going to... Actually, that was a room you can fall into. My bad. And it walks right into Thunderbird. So now, what you have to note, if you haven't seen this randomizer before, is anything after... T-Bird has to be after Thunderbird. And Nirm just walked through a room you can drop into before Thunderbird. So if he takes a drop or required to take a drop later on, like a 50-50 guess, he can drop into the room before Thunderbird.
Right. Dark Link is after Thunderbird, just to clarify. You actually said T-Bird is after Thunderbird, but... Yeah,
that'd be awesome if T-Bird was after Thunderbird as well.
We need to get more Thunderbirds in this game. It's a little too easy with fighting Dark Link at the end, right?
There is the last gem placed for Jam Evil, so he'll be on his way to Great Palace first. Nirm has quite a bit of it explored and knows the way to Thunderbird, so that invalidates all he did not explore. It could be a situation where he can walk right and Dark Link is 1 to 2 rooms away. I think Thunderbird replacing Horsehead in that Palace 5 room, or Helmet Head, whatever one is in the FTS one.
Right.
Is something that's often suggested.
Yeah, it's also worth noting that Thunderbird being a benchmark for the required pathway is something that's true with the options that we currently have turned on. So like you need to have Thunderbird required on, and then you'll know that when you find Thunderbird, you're going the right way. And if you find a drop, it could either take you further along towards the correct destination of Darklink, or somewhere behind you that you may have seen in the past, or maybe it's somewhere you didn't see it yet, and you wind up finding much later that you were just in a giant loop.
Yeah, giant loop, or what we're going to do here is we have not found the only drop room left is what we call the Eon room, the Enchantress of Numbers room, based on past races and events. That one's going to drop to the room behind Thunderbird, so there's no situation where Niam's going to need to take a drop or decide on taking a drop hereafter, and I expect Darklink pretty quickly. But we do have an open option. I'm curious, this path right here is probably going to lead to a dead-end room. And then up's going to be like a false floor room or something. No, fairy room. There's another option. 2 options through this room. It's a rarity, Jake Hoper. I don't normally see lately after Thunderbird being as wide open as it is right now.
Yeah, I guess there weren't that many choices that Nirm had to make before Thunderbird, so he has to balance one way or the other.
I count at least one. It was a one-piece chicken room he didn't go left in.
Well, that explains that.
There you go.
Just looped around to itself. Always fun to see.
Normally see that in Palace 6. With that elevator room with those big jumps you have to make going left.
Yeah. There's a lot of discussion of the shapes that the new dungeon layouts in Zelda 1 Randomizer create, but at least those are, those don't offend any sort of space properties.
They all exist on the same horizontal and vertical plane, where these you have to make an argument that it's not a straight room. It's like it's not a straight room. It kind of curves at a 30-degree angle argument. But we do have Darklink here for Nirm at 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Which is a fantastic time, by the way. Notable with 1 hour and 10 minute side, that's including an 1 hour and 10 minute time, that's including a required Death Mountain glove. So, very good showing by Nier. And Jam in Great Palace right behind him. No time to be ashamed of.
Yeah, officially 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 41 seconds for Niam right there. And he's going to move on to the finals, playing the winner of Dig Shake versus Unos. Their game 3 left unscheduled so far, but that series is tied 1 apiece. We will grab Niam and we'll bring him in here. So this could be a room that Nirm never went into. I didn't see how Jam got here. Yeah, it's going to lead to a dead end for sure. That might have been through the one piece, the one chicken room. And we are joined by the winner right now. Nirm, good game, man.
Good game, Nirm. Whenever you can hear us, or we can hear you.
He's got to go through that 1.5 average restarting Discord stat. Or it could be a push-to-talk thing as well. Hello. Yeah, these are the waffle rooms I don't like, where you don't handle the blue Faka, the blue Chicken Knight, well, and it seems to tail you all the way through.
Yeah, you know what? Really, I think it's just the blue ones that I don't like. I'm okay with the red and the yellow ones because there's multiple ways you can handle them, but the blue ones are very difficult to kill, so...
And as we get Nierm to restart Discord and join us, we're seeing a bunch of rooms here that we did not see on Nierm's side. But I tell you what, if he takes this drop, he's going to be one room away from Thunderbird. So this was a very open Great Palace where you could have went two different directions and arrived right at Thunderbird. And he's going to forced to take the drop now with the dead end.
That's interesting to give two options that seem equally good.
Yeah, it's if I counted rooms right, and it looks like we are in that room to the left of Thunderbird. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, congratulations on the win.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry about the Discord stuff.
I don't see why you'd have to apologize for that unless you are also the creator of Discord.
I could be, but I'm not.
Well, congratulations. Why don't you take us through the highs and lows there for you? Was there anything you did and you were happy to do? And is there anything you were worried about doing or not doing?
So I never actually found Trophy Cave in the West. I still have no idea where that was. And, you know, as I was looking for the glove in the East, going all over the place, I had in the back of my mind, oh, one was in the East and Trophy Cave is in... Sorry, one is in the West and Trophy Cave's in the West. And if Glove happened to be over there, then I'm just up the creek. And then when Glove was in the same place as the last race, I just couldn't believe that.
Jam, actually, you both took similar paths, alternating just a little bit, then arriving back at what the other one didn't do. You both actually started checking Death Mountain at the same time. Difference was he grabbed the boots. You didn't have the boots at that point. He found Hammer Cave and then took a game over in it and never visited Hammer Cave again until the exact same time you were there as well. So you guys were both in Death Mountain to start looking around, and then you guys later on in the seed, whatever it was, 40 minutes later, both arrived at Hammer Cave at the same time.
That's pretty remarkable, all things considered.
And
Yeah.
we go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it was just some remarkable sync for sure.
We still don't know what was in Trophy Cave or where Trophy Cave was. But you did find Palace 1 early. I guess not too early. You explored a little bit, and there were paths you could have taken, but you got out of there. What was the reason behind getting out of there so quickly?
So I had a chance to go left, and there were two blue iron knuckles, and I was like 2-2-3 or something like that. And I figure I'm gonna waste either like 2 or 3 minutes trying to get past these blue iron knuckles, or I can just go on and do all the other things I had left to do at the time. So I just kind of noped out of there, even though I did have a key and the item was potentially there. It wasn't worth the frustration, I don't feel.
And you didn't need. When you arrived back over there, all you had to do was take that elevator all the way up, go right. There was a key in front of the room that needed a key, and Horsehead was right behind it. There was no block there initially.
Yeah, I actually had picked up that key, but I was going to turn around and use that in the item room. But, you know, you never know what you're going to run into. There could be another key block or something like that. So even if I had done all the hassle to get past those blue iron knuckles, I might have been met with another key block, and then it would have all been for naught, so...
Jam's at Dark Link right now, so he's going to be winding up here pretty shortly. And it's noted, an hour and 16, hour and 17 when he's going to finish with the glove in Death Mountain. No, and he had no candle at that time. You had candle, so I'm going to subtract 10 minutes from your time. Because of that, I'm going to note that right now.
Candle does make Death Mountain so much more appealing, I will say that.
So... Jam finishes up right now, and well done again. Great time for him as well. There was something I was going to ask you, and it was pertaining to something, and it was going to be a great question, and I forgot what it was. Oh, Darunia. Before you went into New Kasuto to cash in the magic container requirement to see what was in that, your thoughts are go into Darunia. If it's spelled, then you'll walk out of there with 2 items.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where Glove was at that point, and, you know, Nukasuda was sitting on 2 items at the time, and I was going there anyway, so I figured, I got the kid, I might as well cash in the kid and maybe get lucky and spells blocking the glove, but not the case. I did actually luck out a little bit. I was going to do one before Death Mountain, but then I realized then I'll have to walk all the way back and blah, blah, blah. So then I decided to do Death Mountain before one. That saved me a little bit of time. I don't know if it saved me the 7-minute difference, but it was certainly beneficial there.
So you're going to move on. You're going to play the winner of Dig, Shake, and Unos. Of course, I have to ask this because I always like to start a little bit of trouble. Which one do you prefer to race?
Unos?
I would too, because he smells better.
Absolutely.
What scent of Axe spray do you think he uses?
I think he's too much of a man to use Axe spray.
I think he's an Old Spice guy.
Yeah, he's got the Atari. He's playing Dragster. Definitely an Old Spice guy.
Yeah, I figured that as well. Let's see what Jam says when he joins us. Hello. Was that Cantaloupe by us?
You want the English? My bad.
Yeah, I don't know why you're so mad, man. That was still a good time.
I'm not mad at all. No, not at all. Man, that game over in Death Mountain is what cost me that extra 6 minutes right there.
Yeah, that made all the difference, really.
Sure. It's hard to go through Death Mountain that early without, down stab or some decent levels or even shield at that point. So the second time through was a lot easier, and yeah.
Yeah, when you're in the dark and you got mixed large and small on, I especially fear that one hallway. There's you can almost count on there being more than one Dyra in that hallway, and that is not an easy thing to deal with.
No, not at all. And a few extra red Dyra in places. Was that Parappa Cave with the red Dyra the only way to get to the south, or did Niram find another way?
There was Jump Cave, which was south through the swamp, so
okay.
that cave was definitely fastest way.
Well, a Jump Cave was not possible in the start, though.
No, it wasn't.
Right.
Could you walk around it when you had the boots and you found P-Bag Cave? Were you able to walk around everything?
Nope.
No.
All right.
Yeah, it was edged off. You couldn't get past. It was I guess just those 2 caves, and it's the only way through. But that's not too bad. I mean, it was an easy overworld. Nothing really blocking you off from exploring the whole thing, even on the eastern continent. Normally, you get blocked either north-south or east-west somewhere that you have to take a cave. That wasn't the case though this time with the eastern continent, and that was good.
What'd you think of the helpful thing you found in Trophy Cave, Jam?
I didn't find anything in Trophy Cave.
Right, neither of you did.
Yeah. It was a hammer cave, I believe.
I don't know. Was it?
There was one other hammer cave that I saw that I didn't go in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think either of us had even registered seeing another boulder block somewhere. But I guess neither of you just made it back down there, or
I never saw it.
Yeah.
I don't think it existed. I think this race is invalidated.
Right? There you go. Yeah, we gotta do it again. No, congratulations to Niram, though. It's a really good showing. 2 in a row. Take him on to the final. Well deserved, and I appreciate the competition, good sir. Always pushing myself to get lower times and get better at the game, and having all these awesome and skilled opponents in this tournament has definitely pushed me to my new limits, and I love this game. I absolutely love Zelda 2 Randomizer, and I'm very glad that I got into it, and I implore everyone who's watching right now to go to the website and pick it up, even as a casual playthrough. There's some easy settings for beginners, and you should definitely check it out.
Yeah, Zelda 2 Randomizer is a lot of fun, and I picked it up. Not even like I had last time I played Zelda 2, I was probably 8 years old or something like that. So I sucked at the game 100%. It was totally miserable, but I slogged away at it and got better, and here I sit in the finals. But it's been fun, Jam. Bunch of good races, and it's always a pleasure to see more and more people playing Zelda 2 Randomizer. We're kind of a smaller community in the grand scheme of things. You look at like Link to the Past, and you got hundreds upon hundreds of people, and even Zelda 1, I would say, has a bigger community than Zelda 2. So always good to see new people getting involved in Zelda 2 Randomizer.
For sure, absolutely. Jam, the dream of winning the Zelda 1 randomizer tournament and Zelda 2 randomizer tournament is unfortunately over for you. But why don't you give us a little bit of what to expect on twitch.tv/JamEviler to come?
Oh, right now it's just GDQ prep and getting everything in order. But I do plan on doing plenty more randomizers and plenty more speed runs. I mean, I really don't have one specific goal in mind. I have a bunch of different projects coming up, so that's about it. I know we are in the works of some sort of Zelda 1 randomizer tournament, but it's just in the works. There's no definite structure yet, so keep your ear peeled for that, and eye peeled for that. But in the meantime, check out the rest of this tournament. Really fantastic job by all the commentators and restreamers throughout the whole thing, and really look forward to seeing who is going to be your counterpart in the final.
Do you have a voice, Jam? Which one would you rather see?
Dig notes. Yoonshake?
We're just trying to figure out what body sprays each of them would wear more than who's better at Zelda 2.
Yeah, I'm perfectly happy with either of them going to the final. I do have Dig Shake in my predictions, if that's what you're looking for. So I predicted Dig Shake to go to the final. I hope he doesn't let me down. Right now, my bracket is completely busted because I picked myself to win, and that was probably a mistake.
Liam, is your bracket still perfect?
No.
Ah.
Jam ruined my bracket.
Jam, why would you ruin his bracket?
Oh, for the glory.
Good reason.
So, yep, that's all I got.
Jay Coper, any final words here for either runner?
I just wanted to commend them again on such fantastic times with these flags. That's a really great showing, really showing that you belong in this Final Four here, both of you, and Neem especially. Good luck in the championship against either of those guys. Something I do want to note here is that it looks like Ryan7 has started a Zelda 2 randomizer race. So if people are interested in doing that, you could all go in and do that now. Otherwise, that's about all I've got.
Ooh, I think I'm in the mood for a salty run back. I think I'll be in that one. Thanks for the heads up.
Salty run back. Oh, congratulations again, Nierm Jam. Good luck to you in all your future endeavors, especially that race coming up.
Yep, thank you so much, Angry Lair Bear and Jay Coper.
And Jay Coper, thanks very much for hanging out tonight.
Yeah, thanks for letting me accompany you.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of fun. And thanks again to Feasel, who's manning the tracker and the speed gaming community and everyone else in chat. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you guys again for the rubber match, game 3 of the Zelda 2 randomizer tournament match between Unos and Dig Shake that's coming up. Make sure you check out the website for complete and up-to-date information on schedules and all that. And we'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.
Thanks, guys.